Everyone in Hawaii and everyone coming to Hawaii should know about this. Not just Ewa Gentry, but this part of Ewa Gentry. On the way over here, I called my dad because I try to give my dad a call every day. And I said, oh, going to Ewa Beach to shoot videos. He goes, oh yeah, that's the hot place. Everybody's moving there now. Never have shit there before. Because my dad was born in 1944. I said, Dad, when you were young, what did you think of Ewa? He said one word. Is it one or two? I think it's one. He said sugarcane. And for the local people watching, my dad grew up like Mo'iri, working on the beach in Waikiki. He was just telling me how he had a job at Stardust Bowling Lanes. Leave me a comment, local people. If you're an uncle or auntie out there, you remember Stardust Bowling Lanes on Keaumoku. Being a townie, I asked my dad in the 40s and 50s, did you ever even come here? He said, maybe once. Maybe we went fishing there once. But when I was growing up, there were kind of two parts to Ewa. You know, there's Ewa and Ewa Beach. And that's all there was for a long time. West Loch came along, and that's in the front of Ewa, kind of near the freeway, a little Waipahu-ish, but still Ewa school districts, James Campbell High School school district. So there's Ewa Beach, and then the new Ewa was simply Ewa Gentry. We didn't have Ocean Point, where the Waikai surfing place is, a surfer's country club, a surfer's Top Golf, the whole marina thing. None of that was there. Now, Gentry's still continuing to build. In fact, there's plans for Gentry to build on the old naval station. We'll show you some of the newest stuff from Ewa Gentry and kind of mid-Ewa, both mid geographically and mid in terms of timeline of builds. Like it's built in the 90s and 2000s. Okay, so we chose this spot because we're Hi. Oh, you just want to listen? Okay. Have you seen our YouTube channel? Added pressure. Okay, so we chose this spot because we're at one of the busiest intersections going down Fort Weaver Road. You can see the sign Fort Weaver. It's still not good traffic, but in the past, one of the worst sections of traffic in the entire country. One of the worst sections of traffic in the entire country because it wasn't built for all of this development. Now they've increased it to 3 or even 4 lanes at some parts. Not as bad now, but we're on the corner of Kolowaka and Fort Weaver. And the reason why Kolowaka is important is this is kind of where Ewa Gentry starts. The next stoplight is Renton Road. That's old Ewa. That's the original Ewa plantation area. This was all sugarcane. Ewa, what was I saying? Oh, Fort Weaver. So Fort Weaver divides Ewa Gentry, divides Ewa, divides the school district. Now this may not be true forever. It may not even be true today, but last I checked, if you have kids going to the intermediate school or middle school, so 6th, 7th, 8th, or 7th, 8th, on this side of Fort Weaver, everyone goes to Ilima Intermediate. This is the Diamond Head side, or the east side of Fort Weaver Road. On that side of Fort Weaver Road, people go to Ewa Makai Middle. So that's the newest middle school in the island, air conditioned, and it's 6th, 7th, 8th. We're gonna go behind Kenji here, take a left, show you guys Woodbridge and some of the newer, nicer homes, Makamai, etc. The newer homes in Ewa Gentry right over here. So we're here on the corner of, is this Keaunui? Yeah, this is still Keaunui. We're still on the corner of Keaunui and Makahehi. That's not one I had committed to memory, I'm not gonna lie. If we go around here, this is North Park by Gentry. As you can see, I mean, you just look at the roof lines lined up. It's essentially the same thing over and over and over. This is Ewa Gentry's most recent affordable entry-level home. Really nothing good or bad to say about it, very neutral. They were very popular a couple of years ago. And if you're looking to get into a home in the 700,000s with a maintenance fee, this is your place to be. If we go over here, you see this beautiful sign, Makamai by Gentry. These are a little bit more elevated homes. So I have a friend, John. Our sons play basketball together. John is a Ewa boy. Gold chain, like this. 2 lifted trucks. We were talking about business and finance, and he was like, oh yeah, my friend, he lives in Woodbridge, bro, nice home. Woodbridge has these layouts where you go in, you have a staircase and a balcony. It's very grand, kind of regal feeling when you go in. Makamai doesn't have that layout, but I really liked Makamai. I really liked the home. Walking in the model homes, looking at the finishes, feeling the layouts, I actually preferred it over most Ho'opili DR Horton homes. We sell a lot of Ho'opili homes, so the audacity of me to say that, right? But that's the truth. There just aren't as many Ewa Gentry homes to be had. And when these homes are being sold, for the most part, in that 2021 run of the market where things were insane and they had over 100-person waiting list, You just couldn't get in these. So that's the reason why we sell so many more D.R. Horton homes. It's not that I don't like the Ho'opili homes. I very much do like them. And that community offers something that this one doesn't. That community offers shopping and commercial spaces and proximity to the rail right next to Kamakana Ali'i. There are elements of the Ho'opili D.R. Horton developed community that this Ewa Gentry area just doesn't have. But if I'm just talking about the house, I really like these houses. I'm gonna tell you something I didn't like. In that 2021 area of the housing market, there was such a waiting, there was such a demand. The sellers had so much leverage, so the builders had so much leverage. We had clients that were like at 130 spot on the wait list or something. So we found ourselves in a predicament. Gentry was in strong communication with our clients, and if we didn't get there that day, we're cut out of the deal. Now, it's not about me, it's about you, the client. It's your needs first and foremost. But we're here to oversee the paperwork, to add our world-class administration, introduce our home inspectors, our window treatment people, our landscaping, whoever. We're here to be that real estate agent, and having the agent's only a benefit because if the builder snatches you up, you get no better deal on the deal. It's the same price objectively. They have to operate that way. You want an agent in your corner. Let me stop beating around the bush and walk in a fine line, and let's go look at these houses. So these are the model homes behind me. You can see the finishes. If you're someone who's been paying attention to the Ho'opili releases, I would equate these to like the bluffs at Nanaina or bluffs at Ikena. It's an elevated part of Ewa where you can have Pearl Harbor and Diamond Head views, even some mountain views. That's not necessarily the case in this neighborhood, so there's no bluffs in the name, but it does have that kind of that elevated vibe. You see the wood finishing on the outsides, the board and batten up top. That seems to be a recent trend. Like where my dad lives in Tennessee, it'd be brick and then board and batten. Here you might see the hardy board kind of concrete siding, but then the board and batten on the top with the wood finishes. There's one for sale down the street. I would bet, and here's the part where I should have my phone in my pocket, get it right, you edit it. We're not gonna do that. I bet you it's probably listed for, say, 1.25. Let's see. I was just talking to you guys over there. Now we're standing on this side of this big four-way intersection that is the beginning of Ewa Gentry, Kolawaka, and Fort Weaver Road. I'm gonna go back there and show you some of the more mid-range to lower price townhomes, an area that one of our agents wants to buy in. He's a young guy. He has a specific reason. I'll tell you about that. Make sure you stay till the end. If you're still here, don't leave. I'm gonna show you my hood. We're here with Palm Villas behind me. This is one of Ewa Gentry's smaller townhome, more affordable areas. And the reason why I chose this spot is there's also single families here, which I'll turn the camera around in a moment. These are starting in the 400s in older Ewa. There are other places where you can get townhomes. Typically people coming from the mainland, they're looking for more of this kind of construction with drywall and double wall construction. Oh, and regarding the Makamai listing, I was exactly right to the dot. It was listed for 1.25, but not the one I was talking about. I'll blame it on the distance. I couldn't see the floor plan, but there was one listed for 137 and one for 125. I guess 125, the one I was actually looking at was 137. So that gives you kind of the range from 1.2 to 1.4-ish in Makamai. If you pan over here, this is another part of Ewa Gentry, and these are single family homes. And this kind of speaks to the vibe, right? Unlike Ocean Point, another kind of premier subdivision in the Ewa Beach area, there's very specific places where you can't park. It's not laid out in a grid system. It's kind of curvy and loopy, and the neighborhood just has a different character. There's more tall, mature trees. This is a lot of concrete, older mailboxes, everyone parked up and down the street. For us local people, oftentimes we have to hui together, like families move in with families. The whole idea of like you move out when you're 18, that may not be a thing. Like it's really expensive to live here. So you might have a fourth car or a fifth car, and that's why we end up like this. Also in Hawaii, we use the garages for square footage. It's kind of a thing we need to do. So there's another townhome community over there called Palm Court. The youngest agent on our team, Aiden, he wants to buy in there. We specifically have clients, Darius and Amy, shout outs to you guys. Aiden likes the floor plan. They have this split floor plan where it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's like living space and kitchen, bedroom. So for a young person that wants to house hack, wants to get a place where he can rent it out to his friend and their girlfriend over there, and they can live over here, help him to pay the mortgage and build the equity with less stress. I guess that's a great place. Palm Court with a divided, separated, split 2-bedroom plan. All right, guys, I'm here in the Ewa Gentry Prescott neighborhood. The reason why I brought you guys here, this is my old stomping grounds. I graduated 2002. So that's another Hawaii cultural thing. You don't ask people how old they are. You ask, hey, what year you grad? What year did you graduate? And then if you really want to learn everything about them, you say, what school did you go to? And you just start making assumptions. It's the Hawaii thing. Local people comment if you've ever done that. People do that with colleges on the mainland, right? Oh, I went to North Carolina or Duke, Syracuse or whatever. We kind of identify with high schools. That's my dad, my parents' old house right there. Notice the Air Force aircraft flying over right now. So depending on where in Ewa you buy airplane noise, we said it 100 times on this channel, you might experience airplane noise depending on where you buy in Ewa. But yeah, that's my dad's old house. After high school, we moved into that place. So 18, 19, 20, 21, those years. I turned 22 in boot camp. One of my friends from the radio station, he used to live here. My friend Ren, she lived there. The other part of this Prescott subdivision is actually called Sonoma. So a little bit more elevated homes there, over there. We lived here when everyone's just getting their grass growing, you know, just getting things started. So this is the kind of a nod to the, you know, Gentry started to develop in the 90s. We bought here, it was brand new in 2002, or my parents did. This is a little bit towards the early to mid-range part. These homes, nowadays, depending on the model, probably like 1.1-ish, 1.3 maybe for this other model. We're just gonna go down this street, go to the next intersection, and I'm gonna show you guys something special. I'm gonna disclose kind of a hidden gem or a lesser known fact about this community. All right, guys, so we're here at the intersection between the Prescott neighborhood and the Sonoma neighborhood. The difference in the two is Prescott is kind of one of the more mid-range neighborhoods of the Ewa Gentry offerings. Sonoma at the time was there, you know, Bluff City, Kenna, Bluff Set Nanaina, Makamai. These homes all throughout here, they were that thing back then. You know, so my client who I helped move from there to there, I've heard some stories of how the association was like, no, you gotta like get those leaves out of your yard. You know, some people listening to this might find that to be a good thing, some may be bad, but I'm not so sure if Prescott and Sonoma have different associations, because on this side, we saw fixed tarps in the front. So like there's a garage, right? All these homes have garages. They fixed a tarp from the garage to the sidewalk, like a permanent tarp to work on cars. Looks like maybe a mechanic. We saw boats parked, etc. So seems to be a little more do whatever you want to do over here. I've heard of people like getting notices of too many leaves in their yard over here. But the big point is this is probably Hawaii's best Christmas tree lane. This neighborhood goes crazy for Christmas. There's a lot of Hawaiian Santa vibes, trains going around, reindeer moving, Santa on top of roofs. Oh, there's one of those houses when you go around here. He didn't do it this past year. I think he had to travel. The music goes and the lights light up and follow the music. And the guy did it all himself. He's an engineer or something. There's a Dallas Cowboys family that's like maybe like the 5th or 6th house down. Towards the end, there's a Pittsburgh Steelers family. This neighborhood is awesome for Christmas. Now, one thing though, it's hot in Ewa Beach. So it might not be hot cocoa vibes, you know, it might be more like back sweat vibes for Christmas. I don't know. If I were gonna move to Ewa and I'm really a Christmas person, I might specifically want to be right on one of these 3 streets right here just for the Christmas vibes. I'm sure Halloween goes off as well. Hey guys, hit subscribe, hit like, throw us a comment, go to coreteamhawaii.com for any real estate needs. We want you to think of us when you think of real estate in Hawaii. For that matter, even on the mainland. If you have real estate needs, we'll vet out agents for you, send your referrals, help you sell your home on the mainland, whatever the case may be. Go to coreteamhawaii.com. My team and I would love to help you.